You have entered the J spot where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have our honorary co-host on tonight, NIU Drumline member, aspiring actor and model, CEO of Delaware Inc.,
Come on,
my
son.
son Amir. Hey Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good. So we got you another week.
Oh yeah.
I really appreciate you hanging out. Guys,
No problem.
sometimes I think at home I've been put so much on him that he just like, you know what? I don't want to come and sit not another nowhere next to her. But it didn't happen this week. So, we still on, good vibes this week. So, I'm just thankful for that. How's it going? How has this summer been for you?
It's going pretty good, and to be honest, this summer it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best, but I'll definitely look forward to next year because this summer was over with. Like,
It was a lot. I mean, with this COVID still going on, guys. So please definitely make sure you are taking the necessary precautions to keep yourself safe, keep your kids safe, keep your young adults safe, just keep everybody safe. The schools have now opened up, a lot of the schools. I feel so bad, guys, for these little kids. Oh my God, these pre-Ks and first, like first through third or fourth grade. I mean, like, that is torture. You can't sit next to your little friend and wave to your little friend and talk and just be a little kid. You can't run up to each other and give each other little snotty little hugs and, share your crayons and give each other cooties because this cootie could kill you. If you pass this COVID around, it could kill somebody. So definitely praying for all of the school age kids, praying for the parents, the staff, then the college students. Now
yeah,
listen, guys, with this college, this is a whole different ball game because you have a lot of kids going back to school and young adults going back to these college campuses, and they're going to these parties and they're ending up with this COVID. Listen, if it's really COVID or if it's something else, I have no idea. But according to what the news is reporting, they are having COVID. So my thing is, would you rather be safe than sorry? Are you gonna carry your dummy in down there and find out if it's really COVID or if it's something else? I personally am not trying to be in position to do that. So what did you decide to do, Amir? Are you going back to school or are you going online?
well, I'm staying here for the semester. Hopefully, when things are like back to the way they are, which I hope so. But next year, I'm looking forward to like probably going back to returning in the spring semester. But if worse comes, then I'm probably not going to return next semester either for the spring. So I just might stay home for the year and then hopefully return for the fall in my senior year. So hopefully that's not the case. So hopefully I can return back next semester.
I'm hoping that things, whatever this is going on, because I do, in my heart of hearts, know and believe that this is definitely man made and man created, and it definitely has a strong political force behind all this destruction that's going on.
And for
So
me to
that's just
not
my
be down
personal
there in the
opinion.
band, just man, I'm just not used to that because I'm like all my friends is down there in the band, and I know it's not big like it is, like it was last year. I'm just like, man, I'm just like I don't know what to do.
So how are you dealing with all that? Like, are you mentally prepared to be home and do this semester online, opposed to last year you were in the dorm and you were working your
I
campus
mean,
job
it's
and
it's
doing your
definitely
thing?
gonna be different. I mean, all I miss all of that to be honest with you. And I was expecting to have that this year, but seem as seem as go like this has happened. Like now, it's different now, and it's like I don't know what to do. So it's like I ain't gonna be like in my activities and stuff like I was last semester. So it's definitely a real big change, and I'm not used to this.
Well, guys, listen, I definitely suggest you as a family have that discussion with your kids before sending them back down to school because I know some people they've sent their kids down to school and they go to school out of state only to turn around and find out that their kids have to come back because within a matter of days there's been a widespread of the COVID, students catching the COVID on campus. And so now they're shutting down the dorms, and now they've sent the kids back home for the semester, which that sucks because it's like you're spending all this money going out of town, sending moving your kids out of town only to turn around a couple of days later and have to come back. And that's the thing that I'm glad that we did not have to deal with, because just from a safety standpoint and then a convenience standpoint, I just remember how it was in March when we had to rush down to pick you up from school, and it was just a,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff going on. And I just see that kind of happening again, especially with the way that they're saying that these numbers and things are rising. So definitely want to make sure that everybody is being safe and again taking the necessary precautions to keep yourselves and your family safe. Guys, thank you again for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled
Jaye.
Jaye for all three. Guys, our first hot topic. Okay, listen. We were out last week because there was a lot of storms and everything going on, power outages and stuff. So I have a lot to talk about. I was telling Amir the whole week, I'm like, oh my God, I just miss talking. And I bet you he was saying to himself, how do you miss talking? And you standing right here talking to me. He catches me sometime talking to
Yeah.
myself, and he'll come and what do you say when you catch me talking to myself?
So you talking to yourself again, huh? See, that's that stuff that crazy people be doing. I'm like, you don't get enough of that.
But I can't help it though. I cannot help talking to
She would
myself.
talk to herself and won't nobody be around, and I can be listening from like a room away, and I'm just like, yep, yep. That's that age that done kicked on in. Well, I told you.
Listen, you all, I have some of the best conversations with myself. He'll be peeping. I know he be peeping around to see if I'm on the phone, who am I talking to. But a lot of the times I just be I'm just be talking to myself. I'm so used to being at home alone with him being at school and everything. So I've developed, a habit of bouncing ideas off the wall loudly to myself because there was no one there. And so he's so quiet, I often forget that he's at home.
No,
So
she don't. I still be that. I just don't say nothing, but I do be listening.
why don't you say anything then? So I can.
Because you crazy.
I'm
When
not
you talk
crazy. I
to
just have a
yourself,
lot.
and I just be
This
wanting to
is
know
true.
who is this other person that you having this conversation with.
Listen, I told you, my
Cause
people
it
saw.
ain't me.
Most people saw, and they was talking to have a conversation with people in the light bulb. So that's probably who I'm talking to. I may see him as long as I know who I'm talking to. Don't matter who else know who I'm talking to. As long as I know who I'm talking to, and as long as
Right
I see
now,
him, that's all that matters.
right now, Mr. Larry said,
Right.
"No, he ain't here." But yeah, all right now.
Man, if I ever listen, let me tell you now, that's who you don't want to have no conversations. I'm not having no conversations with no dead people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because the moment somebody come back from the other world and tap me on my shoulder or a Jay or something like that, it's a done deal.
Mhm.
So I don't believe in trying to conjure up the spirits and conjure up the ancestors and get advice and figure out if I'm doing something wrong or if I'm doing something right. Hey, whatever you didn't tell me while you were here, I don't want you to come back and try to tell me, oh, I forgot to tell Nella something. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That part is over with. Cause see, now once that starts happening, then you be worried about me. But right now, as long as I'm talking to myself, it's harmless. It's no harm in talking to yourself. I invite, anybody that does not talk to themselves, I invite you all to try it. But guys, listen, we're gonna take a short musical break. And when we return, we're getting into our hot topics on tonight. We have so much to talk about, and you don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and
Yeah,
families,
families.
one conversation at a time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you. Yes, I'm saying.
Loving you has always been easy because it's true. Yeah. I wouldn't have believed if someone would have told me you would come along. Oh, to revive my soul, cause I was so in love, my heart had grown cold. So cold. You had good
good energy, exactly what I needed. You're walking my life and place the joy where was needed. I don't mirage what I feel for you, but that on God, girl, I'm loving you. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Oh yeah, yeah. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you has always been wonderful, more than you'll ever know. We got the chemistry, go together like love sex. The passion and care we show one another tops all the rest. The feelings I have for you, I ain't felt in so long. What we share together, baby, the bond is so strong. It's no facade of what I feel for you, love. But that oh God, I got love for you, yeah. Say it's easy to love. Easy to love. Woo. Said it's easy, baby. Oh, easy to love. Said it's easy, baby. It's easy to love. Easy to love. Said it's easy. So easy to love. Easy to love you. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you, yeah, yeah, is what I search my life to do. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my honorary co host on tonight, NIU Drumline member, CEO of Delaware Inc., coming soon, aspiring actor and model, my son Amir. Hey Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Good. I really like you. I really rock with you
Thank
today.
you. Thank you so
I
much.
listen. Today, I'm fair weather. He'll tell you, I'm up and down. Some days I'm gonna rock with you. Some days so when I get married, when the preacher say unconditional love, or do you promise to love through, I'm like, wait a minute, because we don't know what kind of conditions are coming our way. So can we put an asterisk by that, that unconditional, and we can revisit that, because it's a lot of things that that can kick you out of my good graces, and then I can't, honor that promise. So, but right now, we on good terms today. But guys, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, first hot topic. Now listen, I always feel some type of way about saving money and different, having joint bank accounts from being single and then merging things over when you get married. So the scenario is this: a young man, he lived at home with his parents for 2 years after college, and he saved money. So he managed to save $20,000, and then he got married 3 years after that, and so he saved up a total of $45,000. So he put that $45,000 in a bank account with his wife, and she added 5,000 to the bank account, so they had a total of $50,000 in the bank account. Well, one day after a few years of being married, the wife empties out the bank account. She spends the entire $50,000 and pays off of her student loans. Was she wrong? Now he's contemplating filing for divorce because he feels like this wench done. Because I know he can call her the other word though, but this scallywag done spent all my money. Now keep in mind though, they're married. So it's a joint account. So does he have a right to be mad because she spent the $50,000 that was in their joint marital account? Was she wrong? How do you feel about that? He saved $45,000 and she added 5,000 to it, but they're married and the money was in their joint marital account, but she spent it
Man,
all
that's crazy.
and she
Man,
did not
fifty
ask him.
thousand dollars
fifty thousand
just to
dollars,
pay off a
and
tuition.
she paid off all of her
Man,
student loans. So was she wrong for that? Because now he's contemplating divorcing her because he's like, wait a minute,
I
what
feel
gives you
like
the
that
right to
that
do
should
that?
have been talked out. I feel like that she should have asked them if she can pay off, like a few loans and stuff. But I'm just like, that's just a waste of money. I'm like all of that, and I'm like, what y'all gonna do for like the mortgage and the house and stuff like that, and the car note and stuff like that? And I'm like, you just paid all of that off for the student loans. I'm like, oh.
And you have a good point. So the thing is, she went because he's feeling like, okay, first of all, if you're gonna pay off any student loans, use the 5,000 that you put in there.
Right,
Don't
yeah,
touch my 45,000 because you know you didn't put that in there. So that
yeah,
was
yeah.
unfair of
That's
her,
kind of that
to
was kind
do
of
that because
jackass.
again, you know that the bulk of that was not, that was
Was
not your
not your
money,
money.
which
Yeah.
is why she did not ask because she knew that it would be a problem. I'm like, you've spent our whole nest egg, you've spent our whole entire savings to pay off your personal student loans. First of all, that was very selfish and it was wrong morally, but legally, she was in her rights to do it because it's not like it was his girlfriend, it was his wife and it was money in their mutual marital account.
Mm-mm.
So, how would you guys feel about that? The young man he saved $45,000 and prior to getting married. So when he gets married, he puts that $45,000 in an account with his wife, and she adds 5,000 to it, making it a total of $50,000. She then turns around and takes that $50,000 and pays off of her student loans without consulting him. Now he's thinking about divorce because he's ticked off, rightfully so. This man spent all his money. So, what do you guys think on that? Should he divorce her? Does he have a right to be mad? I mean, again, it's his wife, it's a joint account. Your money is my money is your money, or is he within his rights to be upset with that? Now, what I will say is this rule number one. First of all, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's just me. Some people have
Yeah.
that type of relationship where, everything, you got to have a little something for a rainy day. So I know that he probably had never been in love and never been hurt before because he was so trusting to put that whole 45,000 in there. Because had he been a man that had been around a block a time or two, ain't nowhere in the world I just don't believe he would put that whole $45,000 up in there. So he was still green, and he loved her and all this and that good stuff. No, no. After that 45,000, I probably would have put about 10 up in that joint. That other 35 would have been somewhere in a secret. That other 35 would have been in a
Mm-hmm.
secret account
Yeah.
with my name on it only. And it will be used at my discretion. However, if we needed it, as a backup plan, because again, that's why it's so important for people to be on the same page
Page, yeah.
financially because you got people that are just irresponsible with money. And not saying that she was irresponsible, but she was definitely selfish. That was definitely a selfish move to make because that could have went towards them buying a house, something
Mm-hmm.
that would mutually
Yeah.
benefit them. And I mean, I get it. She paid the student loans off, which would mutually benefit them. It could, because her credit goes up and this and that. But now your credit going up. Now he about to divorce you. And the tricked out part is he can take her to court, but I mean, really, he don't have a leg to stand on because it's now considered their money. So,
Mm-hmm.
word to the wise, if you are having, just, use wisdom. Love will make you do some dumb ish. Okay. I'm just going to say, love can make you do some dumb ish. Love can make you forget about the stuff that they taught you in accounting. Love can make you forget about how to properly, balance your books. And love can make you do some stupid ish. So please, you know, Let your friends listen. If y'all have a friend that's good and in love, listen, keep that friend around that you think that's bitter, that's going because they gonna tell you the truth. They gonna tell you what you don't want to hear because you got the sugar plums dancing all in your eyes and all, because you're in love. You ain't been through nothing yet. You know, that relationship is still new. So listen to your friends that you may call bitter and things of that nature. Hey Danielle, how you doing? We going through our hot topics. Hey Lawan, he says absolutely wrong. Married or not, he should be 100 degrees hot.
Yeah,
Hey Toy,
I
some
would.
serious. Hey Gretchen, how you doing? Sheila, you're saying you have to go with your gut. Trust your judgment. It will not lead you wrong. Absolutely. And trust those friends that you may consider haters. Like if you
Hmm.
always feel like, oh, they always got something negative to say about relationships.
They could
That
be right.
because they done been through some
Yeah.
things. They done been through some things and they just trying to save your crazy end from getting all your money taken out of your account. So listen to those people. But again, my personal advice is, definitely, divvy that money up. Always go
Yeah.
into situations just in case, just to be on the safe side. Just, you never want to you just don't lay all that on the line, because I'm
Yeah, I
like, when I
agree.
get married, I'm gonna expect him to have a just in case. Not saying that I'm not gonna look for it and I'm not gonna try to find it, but I'm expecting him to, and he should be expecting me
Yeah.
to have a just in case. So, just in case you don't have a just in case, get you a just in case. Guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break just in case you didn't hear me. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening
Relationships
relationships
and
and families
families.
one conversation at a time, just in case. But yeah, guys, you definitely need to have. I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. You don't ever wanna spend some time. I want your love in every drop of a dime. You see me calling, you should come running. Quit all that stalling. My body is calling. I got downtime. All the time. This could be so perfect for one hell of a night. If you got a secret keys, hit it cold in my club. I just wanna slow this on you, baby. We can turn it up. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone 'cause I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. Lately, your love has been on my mind. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind, fantasizing, thinking about you. Anticipating is about to go down. Don't leave me waiting for you. I get so lonely. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone 'cause I get I get ooh, ooh. Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply
Baby.
author, actress, businesswoman, playwright. I'm gonna call you a napping kitten today.
Girl.
Hey E, how's it going?
Back to teaching. How's it going? Oh, the COVID sucks.
Ooh.
I had my plan. When I hit 40, I was going to work for myself, be retired. I hit 40 and COVID came back and hit me.
Man, COVID has just been playing all kinds of mind tricks on a whole bunch of people. But, you know, with that being said, we're going to move on to the left of Sizzling Sexy Simply E. We have our honorary co-host on tonight. I don't know if how long I'm going to be able to keep on saying honorary because, listen,
He here
we've
now.
been here the whole time.
Yeah,
Right.
now.
Yeah, you definitely have to
Drop that, huh?
I found another word.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
We'll need you to work on that.
Work on that.
NIU Drumline member, aspiring actor and model, CEO of Delaware, incoming soon.
Oh, yeah.
Amir, hey Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss Jaye?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Good. You holding up there?
Oh yeah, I'm good over here.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
All right, life is treating them good, guys.
Yep,
Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and Jay is spelled JAYE for all three. The next hot topic, guys. Now listen, it's just a whole bunch of mess. So listen, don't get offended if you fall in this category, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Ladies, would you date a man that worked at a fast food restaurant such as McDonald's or Burger King, and he's good and grown? See, we're not talking about the college folks just getting started and the young, the young adults, the 20s. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the good and grown, 35-ish plus ish. Can you date a man that works at McDonald's as a cashier, possibly a manager?
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, no, a cashier, the stocker, whatever. He's not management. Can you date a man that works in a fast food chain, a fast food joint? Why or why not?
What state are we living in? Because I look at the minimum wage, and if the minimum wage is raised up to something significant, then I might. And is he taking care of all his little situations and everything? That's.
See, I mean,
what about you? Can you?
Right? You gotta get.
Oh yeah,
see,
I'm already looking at
your
face right now.
Her face, right? She turned.
Nah.
Her countenance just fall. What has it fallen?
That's against. No, it's a no for me. Now here's why. You know what?
It's a job, man. It ain't like he worked for like the airline or something like that. It's just a regular job.
Regular job.
He probably making like $14 or $15 an hour, so that's something.
That's something, and he probably put that overtime.
Again, okay, so
and that might be one of his jobs. He might have a few other hustles. He might be pulling up in a Lamborghini just because this is his getaway.
Not working at McDonald's. He not.
I'm telling you, people will switch to certain jobs because what they've been into for career-wise, they've been there for so long, and that it has eaten them and drained them. So they just want to get away from that area and go to this where they don't have to really think. All I got to do is just move. Because I've met people when I worked at UPS before, and when I worked there, I had met people that worked in the stock market, that was in management, that had been teachers, that have done a whole lot of different things, and they were drained. And so at UPS, it didn't make them, they didn't have to really think. They just had to move. So they was like, no. And they gave great benefits and everything else. And they was like, no, I don't have to think. All I got to do is just move. Because I did it. I was like, I don't want to think. I just want to move, and that's it.
Right. And that's fine in its place. However, I mean, just from past experience, it first, as a general rule, it'll be a no. Okay. That just will be a no. Not knocking any man that works there, not knocking him. But for my personal situation, I've had experience with dealing with someone that made significantly less money than I did. So I'm scarred from that. I'm not dealing with that ish no more. So that's why I say no, because it's not from Jay, dang, it's like that. You thinking you better than somebody that. No, but my bills are more than what that McDonald's job is bringing in. So no. No, I had a bad situation with that, and he wanted me to stop doing what I was doing so I can make the type of money. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, no, I didn't go to school and do all of this just to not. Oh, well, you want me to sell this and stop doing this and do no. So for me, it's an app. It's a cuss word, no,
Oh,
because I just cannot deal with that.
with a cuss word with the H or with the F?
Both, whichever you want. I just cannot do it. So that's just a personal no for me. Again, not knocking it because you got a job and you are able to take care of your lifestyle, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But you're barely taking care of yours. So if we come together, it's how you gonna take care of mine and you barely taking care of yours?
Well, Miss Toy Sagittarius says, yes, I would date him. I'm gonna date other people too, but I'm not gonna disregard him because his pocket's not like mine.
Mhm.
And then Danielle says, my fiance used to work at McDonald's, and that was before we got engaged. As long as he has his priorities in correct order.
And see, and that's the thing about it, and that's why I say that makes a huge difference. But again, as far as for me, my answer is still no, based on my past experiences, because we date and we get involved with people based upon our past experiences. So if you've been burned in a certain category, you kind of know that, you know what, yeah, I'm not looking to go down that route. And some dudes are cool. Some dudes, like you say, are just there because they working on the next big thing. They need a little flexibility and they need just enough. I get that. If I'm open enough to run across that, then hey. Now some people would say, "See, Jake, with that type of mindset, you're gonna miss out on your blessing." I'm not gonna miss my blessing because guess what? The Lord knows my issues. He knows me. So
that's why he's sending you these guys to test you.
And he knows he knows I'm not gonna make it. Each trip he knows I'm gonna fail.
Yeah, let's switch it around. What if it was a woman? With the man.
The same thing. My thing would be 35 plus. If her issue's not in order, what you doing? It don't matter. I don't listen. I don't
know some people that's like in their 30s that used to work at Taco Bell.
Right. I don't discriminate. And it's like, so now, which would lead us into, and we're going to finish this one, but then it'll lead into our next hot topic. So with that being said, so if she works there again, if she's working there, the same would apply. Like if we come together, how can this work? Because it's like, okay, if you're barely taking care of yourself, are you really in position to, be able to, come to lead a family? It depends on the man as well, because some men want a woman where they can come in and they can take care of. But then again, on the flip side, I've run into some dudes that got some money and they clutching that purse tight. They like, this wench ain't finna. She thinks she finna get some of this 401k. She think, bruh, calm down. I don't want your money. Calm down. So it's some dudes that's making some nice money, but they tight on their money because they think that you want their money. They think you want to move in their house and drive. So it goes both ways. So it's just like it depends. At the end of the day, it depends on the individual. But I'm gonna probably be a no for that one as well. Just gonna be a no. Just it don't matter because she want. And even she got kids.
Yeah, that's what we crossed the line right there
with the kids, which will lead to the next hot topic. Now, this is a mess, guys. You have to definitely be mindful of who you're dating and who you're getting involved with, especially when you have kids. When you're dating with kids, it's so difficult. So I didn't do a lot of dating coming up when my son was coming up because your kid's looking at you. I didn't want him to think that his mama was a street tramp. Right. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want
loose, wow.
Right. Loose panties, friendly with the hoo-ha and all this and that. It's bad enough you think I'm crazy. I can deal with that one. But to think that his mother was a trollop, well, my gosh.
More traffic than a damn right.
Right. Well, my good Lord Almighty, I couldn't have that, beloved. Yes. So, with that being said, scenario is this. A young lady, she's dating a dude, and she has 2 kids by 2 different men. Her kids are going on a field trip, and she needs $20. So she asked the dude for $20. And he told her he's not giving it to her. She needs to ask her kid's father for the $20. So she gets mad and she was like, wow, it's that deep over $20. He was like, listen, I don't give women money to take care of their kids. So you need to go back to the men that helped you to create those kids. Was he wrong? Because I mean, she got an attitude for that. Was he wrong for making that statement, especially over $20? What are your thoughts on that, Amir? What are your thoughts? Young man, she dating.
Man, I mean, God bless that man. So, I mean, I would have helped out. I would have pitched in. I would tell her.
You gave her the $20.
Yeah, I would have helped out. But I would tell her this. I'm like, look here, look now, those not my kids. Now, the next time you do this, you're gonna lose out on your blessing. Now, all right? So I tell her that. Well, I help out because I don't like to see people, like struggling and stuff like that. So I feel like it is a good thing to like help people out and stuff like that, especially like in the time of need and stuff, like if they don't have it. So that's what I would say.
Boy, you know what? You all right with me. You are, I swear. Yeah, I don't either because I'd probably be there. But what about you, E? What is he wrong for feeling like that? Is he wrong?
Yeah, because it might be a constant thing. And that's probably he's just tired now. It's probably a constant thing. And he's like, what now? Ask their daddies. You done had these, these children by him. I'm constantly taking care of these children or whatever. You don't call and ask them. And you see in her defense, she didn't say, well, I did call them and they said no. She didn't say that. She got mad and was like, you're not going to give it to me. Why didn't you call them first? I'd have asked their dads first. And if they'd have said no, I'd be like, no problem. Let me go to the child support office real quick. Help you out a little further. And then I'd have asked my dude, like, listen, I've already asked their fathers. They said no. And I apologize for it being short notice, and that'd have been that. But then he would have been on coochie restriction for a long time now, too. Now, you don't get $20. You ain't getting no coochie.
Right. I'm like, okay, so I wouldn't have been mad, but the response would have definitely left a bad taste in my mouth. And knowing me, I'm not going to proceed forward. And here's why. It's saying a lot about your character to me as a man. It's saying a lot about your heart. It wasn't the fact that I needed the $20. It's showing how you think about my kids. So I don't feel comfortable with proceeding forward with somebody that has that type of response just towards my kids. Because even though we're dating, I would have preferred for you to lie to me and say, I don't have it, opposed to you make that statement, oh, go ask their dads. Then why are you in my face? I have kids. So if we're going to get serious, then my kids are coming with me. And here's the deal. They're not your responsibility. But anybody needs to know, and I know some people don't like this statement, but I'm going to say it because it's true. When you're dating somebody with kids, you are a package. Fellas, if you have kids, you are a package. Even if your kids live with the mother, guess what? If something happens to that mother, then you have to be prepared to step up and she has to accept your kids. So everybody is a package. If you got kids, you a package. If you think that you can't accept these kids or you can't love or care about these kids, why go forward? So to me, that statement, it said a lot. And it's not about, he's not obligated, no shape, form, or fashion at all. He's not obligated. He's right. It's the father's responsibility. But you're the dude that I'm here with right now. You the one who I got my thighs cocked open for. So you want me to go to their daddy for that too? Well, because if you sending me back to the baby daddies, I mean, listen, what I need you here for?
That's probably why they left, because you kept on asking for so much money. You thought all you could do was lay on your back. Well, I'm just saying, that skillet been sitting on the stove for the past 10 days, and that egg still pressing up in there. You ain't washed that yet. Let me give you $20.
Right. So Danielle, she's saying, yeah, he wrong. Says send his broke butt on. I can respect that, son. Ain't many like, she said she can respect you. Ain't many like you. They must not be active. She's saying, I guess this for you, E. Right, strike. Maurice, he's saying she better know I got mine. Again, what you got, Maurice? I don't know. You got to explain what you got. Again, but if you're dating someone that has kids, and if you're not up for it, you're totally, please do not misunderstand what I'm saying. You totally have a right to keep your coins and your duckies and your dollars in your pocket. You do. Just stop getting involved with people that got kids. Now I know it's hard to find people that probably ain't got no kids, but you listen. I mean, it's just the way it is.
I've met a lot of people who don't have children.
I do. I know a lot of men too that don't have kids. I'm like, you looking at the wrong guys, sugar.
Wow.
These childbearing age, you looking at the wrong ones. I'm just saying. But I do know a lot of men as well that don't have kids. I know a lot of women that don't have kids that wish that they had kids. But again, it's too many people out here that want kids and families and things of that nature to deal with somebody that has that type of mindset, which will lead into our next hot topic. So there's a woman, she married a man, they've been married for some years. She brought to the table 5 kids. So they get divorced some years later. Should he be expected to still take care of them? That's how they pose the question. Should he still be expected to take care of them? What kind of stupid, somebody say a cuss word for me. What kind of stupid question is that? Because here's the thing. You were married to her and you asking that question. So they're not, none of the kids were biologically his, but you were married to this woman and you played a father role. So now you get divorced. So now you divorce the kids?
No, you cannot do that.
You say, okay, well, shoot, good riddance. I ain't got to take care of her or her 5 kids.
No, you cannot.
Who do that?
If you do that, that means your mom. Well, if you cut me off, then don't expect me to go check on your mom and give her blood pressure medicine, because she gonna call me and say, "Babe, you still come out? Who is this? Excuse me." Because your son refused to come take the children out to Chuck E. Cheese like you said he used to do all this back in the day. So now he stopped because we're not together no more. So I don't know who you are, but I need my medicine. I know you do. I get that. My children would really like to spend some time with him, so that's okay. Ask your son to go give you your medicine.
Man.
I can't do it because if you want to cut my children off, then I have to cut every little communication of you and your family. The friends I pick through and see what's what, but I'm gonna make sure that your friends see me stunting in front and looking cute and stuff, when they see me and stuff. But you're not gonna treat my children like that.
What about you, Amir? What do you think about that? They got divorced some years later. None of the kids are biologically his, but he decides, you know what? I'm done with her, so I'm done with the kids. What do you think about that? Is he right for thinking like? Is he right for having that? That stance. He was married to her. He acted as a father to the kids.
Like I feel like that situation right there, that just turned out real bad, and I feel like that if he walk out on the wife and then he try to walk out on the kids, he wasn't no good in the first place.
Exactly.
He wasn't no good in the first place, and like that just shows the type of man that you are. Like if something don't go right, then you just gonna shut all of it down, and then what the kids gonna do? Like, are they gonna only depend on their mother and stuff like that? So I feel like that was real messed up right there.
But she could take him, to
how she gonna take care of all of those 5 kids, and then you just run off and just do something else?
Right.
That's still your responsibility. Still, you married her, you put the ring on her finger,
but they not biologically his.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're not biologically his, but
I feel like he in that situation. I feel like he should,
She can still. I think you can probably sue him civilly for that,
right? Because it's like these are your kids, and it's like again, definitely stressing this because this is gonna have a lot to do with what we're talking about tonight, which is when to file for child support. That's what we're talking about later on tonight. But with that being said, again, when kids are involved in these relationships, you got to be mindful. Because a lot of times, you getting involved when you see she got all these kids, you like, but she swinging off the chandelier and she making your toes curl and all this other stuff. She making you speak in all kinds of different languages that you ain't never spoke in. And then you ain't really thinking about the kids. All you thinking about is, I just want her to keep doing this for me. And you willing to play stepdaddy and all this and that.
Come on, little John.
For 5 kids, that's a lot of kids. One of them done told him he ain't the daddy. The other one I told him he was ugly. The other one probably drinking his stuff. The other one stealing his money. So it's a lot dealing with 5 kids. Listen, I know the stuff that they doing. Because you used to do it my to siblings and I, we did it. The tortures, what you did to that man. My stepfather came into a household with 6 kids that were not his. And trust me, the torture that we inflicted, but see, here's the thing, I'll say in our defense, the torture was mutual. So we had somebody that was just as petty as we were. And but it made us better people today, because when you see somebody grown, stoop to that type of level, you be like, well, yeah, dog, I wasn't even, expecting this. And it wasn't about physical discipline. And he got us mentally. And that's where, he would just come outside, dressed and stuff, just do anything that would just torture. Right. Yeah, payback is a mug. My mama didn't think we was bad. We know the truth. Mamas don't never think their children are bad. This is true. And we weren't bad to the rest to the general population. It was just to him. So I can understand this man's reservation for coming in with a whole bunch of kids. Because like I say, we was but at the same time, even if he left, Danielle, she says it depends on the relationship he had with the children too. And then Toy says he can still play father figure, but as far as financial support, no, that's not on that man. My thing is this: if you cut yourself off, say you all divorced, fine and dandy, and you cut yourself off from the children, period, then what are you saying about yourself? Exactly. You were fronting the whole time. What was you really in the marriage for? You decided to end it. That's fine and dandy. But then, and if you have these stepchildren that are boys, then they're looking to you as a man. Mm-hmm. Then they think that it's okay when they get grown and grow up and have, maybe get in the same situation, married women who have children. It's okay to leave her and them children too. So you're setting a standard for this family and these children that you've left. You don't have to leave them behind. You can still, me and you didn't get along anymore. Fine. But I still want to be there for the children. If he claimed them as his stepchildren, then they're his children. Then you can still be there financially. You ain't got to take care of the ladies, rent and all the other stuff. No. But if they need some school supplies, I'm gonna come pick them up. I'm gonna go take them to get the stuff that they need for school. Let me go take them to do this, do that, and the other. Still be that father figure, because if their biological father is not there, then all they know as father is you. So why would you do that to those children? Right. And again, not saying that it's not your responsibility to, in a sense, beforehand, before entering that situation, it's not your responsibility. Exactly. But the moment you enter that situation with that woman, with your kid, with those kids, the kids become your responsibility. And a lot of me, I just hope that we can agree on this, because again, it's too many kids out here not receiving love, and they're feeling like nobody wants them. Because listen, they biological father done did them wrong, and now you got the stepfather, ain't much. So it's like you're dropping a whole lot of men in these kids' lives. That's not much. And now listen, you got a whole bunch of kids out here that just need a masculine hug. They just need a masculine voice to give them that attention and to tell them that they love them, to tell them, that it's okay, that it's not their fault. Again, no, you did not tell her to lay up and hide all those kids. No, you didn't. We get that. We all agree on that. At the end of the day, the kids are here. It's not their fault. And you're not wrong for not wanting to deal with it. Just walk away in the beginning, fam. Don't have the kids getting their feelings all up involved, because just because you broke up don't mean the kids don't broke up. Kids, a lot of adults and parents don't take that into consideration. The kids going through just like you going through. Exactly. The kids miss that man just like you miss. And that's the hard thing when it comes to divorce. You have to be honest with your children and tell them. We all want to take our children and just kind of coddle them as much as we possibly can, but they're growing up and they see what's going on. Right. When I went through my divorce, I knew that the older two, they were okay, but that younger one,
I knew that it was going to hit him like, like a ton of bricks. So I had to take him aside separately. And me and him went out one day and I had to tell him, listen, me and your dad are not getting back together. It's not going to happen. And it hurt him. But I'd rather you hear it from me opposed to you try to figure out, why is my mom seeing somebody else?
Right.
Why is my dad seeing somebody else and they not together? Why are we moving?
Right.
Let me tell you so that way you're not left in the dark and you can deal with it. Opposed to, I'm going to just leave it in the dark. We're going to play this little role and I'm going to rip the bandit off slowly. No, just rip it off and let them know, and it's okay. And just be there if they have a meltdown, because he had a breakdown in the car. So I'm like, baby, it's going to be all right. So you have to just be there and assure them that it's going to be all right. I'm still going to be your dad. She's still going to be your mom. We're just not going to be together no more. And if you have stepchildren involved, I'm still going to be there for you in your life. Me and your mother or me and your father, it's just not going to be together anymore.
Now we have Toy is saying he can still play father figure, but as far as financial support, okay, no, that man has not on it. And then Danielle saying that's true. I agree. Maurice is saying facts. Danielle is saying, what if stepdaddy find a new wife? Do they refer to her as their stepmother? I would say, is she doing the stepmother job?
If she playing that role and she's doing like she's supposed to, and if she's truly sincere, then, and they're not going to say, you my stepmom. Usually children, after a while, they've been passed around, they're going to call you by your name. It is just what it is. Or they're going to call you Miss So-and-so, or, you're going to just be comfortable. But they're not going to call you daddy and mama no more. It's just over that. It's not going to happen.
And Toy says stepmothers leave too after their children get attached to having a mother figure. When she done, she just bounced too like a man. And again, even in that situation, I think that it's unfair. So it's like, if you don't plan on being a permanent fixture in those kids' lives, even if the relationship goes south, then and it's like I would think about it too. It's like, okay, man, you were actually holding all this all along while y'all was together, because if you were so easily able to just flick them off your sleeve like they was little sleeves or little nets, and you could just easily toss them away like that, did you really even care?
I think,
to me, it make me look at stuff like that.
I think some people, they deal with things in different ways. If he's a good guy, it may hurt him so much to have to leave the situation. The mother may have been foul, or if she's a good woman, the father may have been foul, the husband or whatever. And it hurt her so much to see those children, or him see those children, that he'd rather just walk away. He may communicate with them later on in life, like, listen, this is what. I had to leave and I didn't want to, and seeing you all just hurt the fact that the marriage had to end.
And and logically, I understand that, but that's some bull, John, because it's like, you got to be the adult and just tuck your tail between your legs and just do what's best for these kids. Because again, if you know how you feeling, imagine how those kids are feeling, and they don't have an outlet. They don't know how to express themselves. So now they're going to start doing stupid stuff because they're lashing out because they're hurt. So just be mindful and think twice about getting involved with people that have kids. Think twice about, having them care about you. And listen, y'all, let's talk. Especially if you're not much and you just ready, you just want to get
much.
You want to get the, you want to get the good drop. It's okay. Be honest with that. And y'all make those type of moves so that the little people don't get involved. They ain't got to know that y'all breaking headboards over here, but don't get the kids involved. So therefore, when y'all make a clean split, then that's it. Ain't no little people got their feelings involved. But once y'all get these kids involved, can I get a Happy Meal? Is Mr. Ron gonna buy me a Tonka truck? He said he was gonna take me for ice cream and cookies.
He said a lot of things.
He said he was
be here with me forever.
Hey.
So
First of all, see, so if you don't plan on doing any of that, you're entitled to not do it. Just don't get involved with it, and you'll be fine. Nobody is faulting you for not wanting to be with someone that has kids. It's your right to not deal with somebody. They should have thought about that. They know. They should have thought about it. Don't nobody need you. Anybody that's had a failed relationship don't need nobody coming to them telling them what they shouldn't have did, and you should. They know. Trust me, they know. Whenever they look at the kids or they got to go to child support court, they knew. Man, I knew I should have stayed on the birth control pills. I knew. Some told me I should have got the plan B. You know, they know this. He knows that he's saying, you know what? I shouldn't have trusted that natural method. I should have just put a condom on. I should have put a condom. But you didn't. So now here we are. Here they are. So everybody knows in hindsight what they should have did. Don't need no chirping cricket on their shoulder. They already know. At this point, you have the choice and the option to not get involved if you don't plan on being there fully in real in these kids' lives. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we're going to get into our next hot topic. I told y'all we had a lot to talk about because we was off last week. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time. Yeah, guys, so definitely be mindful. You entitled to not want to date a woman with kids. You entitled to not want to date a man with kids. It don't make
I don't know what you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20-piece. Cause girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good, good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, girl, why you gotta look so good? I can look into your not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Yeah, nails done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good? It's something about you. When you put your clothes on, when you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Or when you're at the job just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting them wrong one and all. Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair down and your nails down. When you put the clothes on, girl, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright. We're gonna pass on the sex again today.
Girl,
My
I'm
co-host,
tired.
sizzling, sexy, simply E. How's it going today, E?
Tired.
I feel you. Won't he
You
do
learning.
it? Won't he do it? Now, sitting next to sizzling, sexy, simply E, We have our other co-host, our
Thank you.
co-host.
Thank you. See, you got
Yes.
it
Yes.
right.
NIU drumline band member, aspiring actor and model, CEO of Delaware Inc. Coming
Coming
soon.
soon.
Amir. Hey Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good. You are really, whenever I see this young man, I'm like, I'm so glad that the Plan B pill won out, or I wasn't taking my birth control. I'm just, I'm glad. You make me really.
Don't do it. Whatever you thinking, whatever you about to say, please don't say it.
I'm just happy, guys. I'm just really happy that I missed my cycle, that month. I'm really, when
Just
I'm.
faked it. Just completely faked it.
Somebody please come get her, please. Please come get her.
Now, see, here's the thing, guys. If y'all can't listen, if y'all can't have these conversations with your kids, they're not gonna be ready for the world. Especially if they were only child. See, he's an only child. So I come from a
They
big
don't need
family.
to know that.
They do.
No, they
So I
don't.
have to get him ready for the world because he needs to know. Listen, when you come from a big family, it's somebody always talking about you, and just it's always a whole bunch of stuff going on. So when you get out into the real world, if somebody talking about you in school, you really not going take it offended, get too offended by it because you got a comeback. But when you are only child, it's like the world revolves around you. So I felt it was my duty as his mother to inflict as much madness on him as I legally could without making him, insane, so I had to get him ready. So he needs to know, that listen, I got tricked. R. Kelly told me we can keep it on the down low. Then 8.5 months later, I realized that it really wasn't the down low because here you are. You got to let them know. Don't let these songs trick you up so he knows all about it. So I just have to, let him know. And guess what? He knows, and I know he's thinking about that
I'm not
room.
paying her no mind, please.
He's thinking
I'm
about
really
that
not.
room where he gonna put me at when I get a few years older. He gonna put me in that room without a window, and it's gonna have a straight jacket on it. He got me fitted for the jacket last week, so hopefully I don't gain too much weight, so I'll be able to fit in the white jacket because the one where they have your arms like this.
And we gonna let you talk to yourself
But
all you want
y'all
to.
don't let him do that to me though. Please don't let him put me up in that room by myself while I just be sitting there
You just rock.
just rocking because I'm gonna start seeing centipedes and just all, and I know I'm gonna drive my own self crazy.
Yeah, you
So
are.
I
Mhm.
will not. I won't make it. So it's just that I just won't. So definitely love on your kids. But guys, listen. Our next hot topic. Okay, these phones. These phones are gonna get some folks in some trouble. I'm just gonna tell you this. So if you are in a serious relationship or if you're married, do you have a problem with your mate or your significant other answering your phone?
I'm not doing nothing.
What about you, Amir? Would you mind your girlfriend? You were in a serious relationship. Would you mind her answering your phone?
Yes and no. And the reason why I say it can be 50-50 because anybody can be calling. It can be somebody from my job. It can be somebody from like another state. Like if I'm doing something that's like really important, like business wise, like I'm gonna have to take that. Like I don't
But
want
say
you
you're in the
picking up the
bathroom
phone.
and your phone rings and she answers it for
I mean, that's one thing, but I'm like, I wouldn't have no problem. But like, I don't want nobody picking up my phone because I'm like, that's my phone. I'm like, I'm paying my own bills, so I'm like, I don't want you answering my phone. I
you.
don't
See,
care
we're
if we
so
are together.
territorial about these phones. This phone's gonna get you.
Cause I'm like, if I don't answer your phone and go through your phone, don't go through mine.
So what if she
Cause I
doesn't
don't
have a
have no.
problem with you
Cause
answering her phone?
I don't have nothing to hide.
So what if she doesn't have a problem with you answering her phone?
I don't want to care, and plus, I don't believe in like going through other people's phones. Cause ain't no telling what you gonna find up in there. So
That's why
I'm
you
like,
go through it.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm just gonna be scarred for life. So I'm like, I don't even want to go down that lane right now. So I'm just like, if you go through my phone, I'll go through yours. But I'm like, at the same time, I really won't really won't care because I won't have nothing to hide.
And see, it's so funny that you said that. And it's like the day and time that we live in is just people don't feel comfortable with answering other people's phones. Like, even for me, if I'm in the bathroom or something and my phone rings and I tell him to answer my phone, he'll bring it to me still ringing, especially when I know it's like on the last ring and I didn't hear it. And I'm like, answer my phone and bring it to me. He'll just bring it to me. I'm like, now that I missed the call, you could have just answered it, because it's like we don't feel that we have the right to answer somebody's phone.
Would you answer your mate or significant other's phone?
I mean, if he didn't have a problem with it, like I wouldn't have a problem with him answering my phone. So I'm like, okay,
let me see your phone real quick. And just
right.
Your message.
Oh, please, you can go through my messages. I'm not gonna be the one that's getting broke up with. The people now, what people say, those are the ones that got to worry. I will be home clear. I'd be like, yep, told them they best stop sitting there.
Nobody had a man, they wouldn't listen. So
it can be somebody that can be called from your job, having you to come work an extra shift or something like that. And she up in there cussing up a storm and stuff, cussing that person out. Now you done lost your job.
Right. Now if you
like,
answering
you know what? Was it really that necessary? Like, you can cuss the manager out or the whoever was working that shift. Now I can't even go in because you put your foot in your mouth, and now I ain't got a job no more because you did you thought I was allegedly cheating or something like that. Now I ain't got no job no more. So now what you want to do?
See, now that's a different case. It's like if you're answering a phone with suspicion, then first of all, you don't do the clown on nobody's phone unless you just don't do the clown on nobody's phone. You take the phone number down and call from your phone and do the clown. Don't be called. How you clowning on somebody else's phone? They call who they want to speak to. Right. What the heck you answering the phone for? Then you get the number and then you call the clown.
I got a clown from your
on
phone.
Your phone.
That's calling my name. Don't pick up the phone then.
So who's wrong in that situation? If you got a woman and she pick up the phone and another chick call, who's wrong? Why she wrong?
And then the person that called is wrong too.
What? So why are they wrong?
Because
please explain it. Y'all fellas.
No.
Because we got to pounce all on him. So he's in a relationship and his woman answers the phone. And it's another woman on the phone calling for the dude because he gave his phone number out on some hollering stuff.
In that case right there, you might as well just pack your bags on up and just go ahead and leave because that situation is not going to go nowhere. That's all I'm saying.
But you were saying that both of the women were wrong.
Well,
so you're not come on, speak it. Listen, we want you to hold your own. We gonna fire at you anywhere it go, but hold your own.
I'm still gonna stand my ground.
That's right. You stand your ground up in here. What you gotta say?
Especially you.
Yeah, you know I'm coming over the table for you.
Sure you are.
But what you got to say? So why are they wrong? Why are the women wrong?
I mean, I just don't feel like it's right for women going back and forth over especially if that person is not with that man, I don't feel like they should be going back and forth. Just tell what's going on. If they was calling for this guy, I'm like, okay, so what he calling you for? Oh, he gave me his number and stuff like that. Y'all can't be going back and forth because the situation is gonna escalate.
Right.
So I'm just act mature and just talk stuff out, figure out what the problem is. So, and if he messing around, snoozing around, okay, both of y'all need to get on his head and not at each other, So.
And with that being said, he wants to be single. I'm like, here's the thing. Back in the day, before I was redeemed and I was able to, stand being in these TT bushes and I had time to do little drive-bys and see where the cars at and all this other stuff.
I'm glad you don't do that.
I am glad.
Definitely in this generation today, that's
people
don't do that.
People
just don't do that.
They do it with trust. They do it. They call that girl up who got a different car. Be like, because I get the calls. Come on, take me over. I be like, okay. They don't know your car. Okay, did you put your plates on yet? No. Okay, they don't know your stuff. Come on.
That's what you do. So that was back in the day before I was redeemed. So now I'm just like, okay, if I feel the need to answer his phone, I don't even need to be there. Like I should have the right to answer your phone. You have the right to answer my phone.
But what if a text? What if he just got like a whole bunch of text messages?
Right.
And like my phone, cause I'm like I got a lock on my phone. And it's like the little lock in thing. So like the person like they can't see who texts you. It's gonna pop up as a message. Cause I got an iPhone and it's gonna pop up as a message, and the person name not gonna pop up. So it's like.
I mean, I just think
Just
I just
admit that
always
if you're
think
out there tricking around, just say it. You know, I'm out here tricking around. I'm out here dirty. You called me. I'm called. Yeah, that's my other boo. I ain't done nothing with her yet. I was just seeing how you was acting, and y'all just having to talk. Matter of fact, y'all should just meet and talk about it, and then figure out which one of y'all want to stay.
Who's
That's
that
what you really
texting
should
you
do.
like 10, 15 times? I'm
That's
like,
the one who gonna be
because I'm
here.
in a group chat with my guys and stuff. I'm like, why are you in my phone? And why do you want to know who in my text? I'm like, that's my guys right there. I'm like,
Men don't text like
So
that.
would you get offended if she asked you who was texting you or who you talking to?
no, I straight up tell them, like, oh, that's my guys.
So what if it
Anything
was a
else?
female?
I'm like, oh, that's a friend. Anything else?
Mm.
And see, I'll be slick with it. I'll be dirty with it too. I'll be
See?
like, oh, that's my friend. That's my guys. I'm like, okay,
Say that's
anything
the
else?
homie. Just say that's the homie.
Anything else? Okay,
See,
okay, bye.
See, that stuff right there make me just will bash his head just straight to a wall or something, just giving that type of comment. But what do you guys think about people that flip their phones? I feel like
I
anybody
don't even do that either.
that
'Cause I'm
that
like,
can't leave, like if you're dating somebody, you're in a relationship and you can't leave your phone around, or
you
it
just
always
being
have to
on it
be
and stuff.
upside down. I just feel like there's some suspicious stuff going on. Like I
Not
leave my
only that,
phone
I
anytime.
feel like if
I
you
leave
on
my
the
phone
phone
around.
while you on the date too, then I feel like that you on something else too. If you always on your phone, we supposed to be having a conversation, and you on the phone, you can be texting somebody, you can be on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of rude. I'm like, we out on that, we supposed to be talking. I'm like, you want to come out, but you on your phone,
Right,
and stuff. So I'm like,
right.
so what's the point? I'm
Okay.
like,
Well, can I just make a little disclaimer for those that get on their phone? I don't get on my phone a lot, but I do like kind of excuse myself for a minute. I'm like, let me just approve these posts, and
that's not really important. You could have done that before we came on the date.
it is, and I
Why
did
you
it
gotta
before.
do
But
that
if
on
you
the
have,
date?
You could have sent a text message like, let me
Cause
approve
y'all
this.
not
I'm on a
focused on
date.
each other.
You could have did that.
we are
No,
focused on
you're
each
not
other.
focused on one another. You so busy in your little phone and Facebook world that you can't even focus on the dude that's in front of you. That might be your blessing, but you just worried about this one. And he gonna be like, "Don't you got a partner or a few partner, whatever?" Well, yeah, but what? It's me and you.
Okay, it's still gonna be a distraction whether I'm checking.
No, because you
approving
know
it,
all
or
you got to
sending
do
a
is
text.
just say, you know what, and do, babe, watch this. Approve this stuff for me. Click. That's it. And then that's it. What's up, bro? That's okay.
Yeah, no.
You can do that, and you can turn it over. And when you turn it over, that's for you not to be looking at it. That's not for him to say, "Oh, she got some sneaky stuff." No, that's for you, because if that thing lights up and it says, social media, you'll be like, "Oh, let me go."
So now, what about if they're just as a general rule that they always just have their phone flipped upside down?
Maybe it's for their own discretion. Like I said, that may be for them, so they don't get tempted to look at it. Because I'm like that. If my phone is turned upward and I get my light flicks, then I'm going to see who done text me or what someone said. I'm not really big on what someone said on social media, but if you send me a text message,
right,
I will want to see who's that. So I'd rather flick it over. And most everybody, if I'm on a date, all my friends are gonna know that I'm on a date. I tell everybody I'm on this date. My mom, everybody gonna know I'm on this date or whatever. So I'm gonna turn it over, because I know they already know that I'm on this date. They're not gonna bother me. So I'm like, I don't be tempted. But if I turn it over, then I'm tempted, because it's gonna ding. It's gonna flick off.
Well, I just, as I said, I just like to
kind of happen. So like, I will keep my phone up, because in case if there's an emergency or something like that, you're gonna have to postpone the date and have to reschedule another time. So that's why I'll have mine up. And
well, I have
my
mine
ringer
up
will be
too.
off, but yeah.
I definitely have mine up. Sometimes I just think that if it's turned face down, to me, that's sometimes can say Dig, what does that person have something to hide? Like again, we've talked about this years ago as far as having a lock on the phone, which I still don't have a lock on it because I'm like, I just don't have
I have a lock on mine. Like even when I was in high school, like if I left my phone down or what, because it was and I never hit. I don't even think I had a lock on my phone, but like it was this one girl that had got into my phone or whatever. She was posting stupid statuses on my Facebook page. And I'm like, I didn't say that. And I looked there, she over there laugh. I'm like, don't do that, man. I'm like, see, now I'm about to lock my phone because y'all sitting up there doing all this weird stuff. I'm like, don't be doing that. Then texting people that you don't even know that I'm, affiliated with. And I'm like, don't do that because I'm like, that's weird. Like, don't be going through my messages and texting people that you don't know. And then I have them looking at me sideways like I sent that message. I'm like, don't do that, like for real. So that's why I lock my phone.
And see,
I
for
don't care
me,
where I'm at.
nowadays, like I said, I'm not looking in your phone. I'm not checking your social media. I'm just not doing any of that because I know who I am and I know my worth and I know my value. And I'm like, okay, if you no longer sweet over here, okay, I'm good with that. Just say
sweet over there.
Right, it is sweet over here. Nah. But if you no longer checking over in this area, I mean, I'm cool with that. I don't need to be looking and seeing what you doing and all this and that. It's not that deep. If you want to go, okay. I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but that's one thing. My investigating days are over. My snooping those days have been long gone. Those days have been long over with. When I said,
you sure?
I'm the
Thank
you.
you.
Got a little bit more of that left in you? I think you do.
No, I don't. No,
you see it right there.
You do?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
My
see.
knees ain't as good as they used to be. I used to
I'm
be
not
able to,
trying to hit. See, there we go. See,
I used to be in them TT bushes on y'all on that west
You got
side.
binoculars now.
Like, but now I just don't feel like doing all that. I'm like, I'm not doing all that.
You innocent. See, I knew it. I
You say I'm innocent.
Yeah, I know when the family say that you don't always, that you never get caught up in no stuff because you always so-called innocent.
I never said I'm far from innocent.
Yeah,
listen, I can't stand
you. Have binoculars now.
I'm far from innocent. I'm just retired. That's the thing. I'm redeemed. Yeah, I'm retired. Listen, you better ask them about me. Listen, I'm telling you, you better ask some people about me. But I don't even do all that no more. Why are you looking at me?
You may not. You know what? No, it's not that. It's not that you don't do it anymore. It's just the fact that she don't like to drive on expressways. Now, if she drove on expressway,
but I could get you.
Exactly. So, and if she didn't feel like if I was willing to say, you know what, let's go ahead and see it. You would go. You would go. If I called you, you would not. Right. I knew you would not. Like, okay, let's go see what's up. I'm on my way. We about to go see what's up. You went right. So, you know, I got all the equipment. What's this that? Let me put it in my little. Let me do all this little background.
Right,
okay,
I
well,
know
let's
you
wait.
would. I know. Listen, I can call and get put it took anywhere if that was the case. But I'm just like, at this point in my life, I'm just like, I've done that already. And I'm like, it didn't get me nowhere. I'm like, I found out some stuff, but what?
You want to go visit Prince?
No.
I didn't figure it.
I'm good. I'm like, I don't eat nobody. I'm not sneaking up, looking, doing this. Like I say, look on social media. I'm not looking and seeing I'm not doing all that.
I don't do the social
media. No expect a gadget. Like that.
No, I done did all. Listen, I done did all the back kid. I done been there and done that, and that's why I can just calmly sit back down and drink my coffee. Like I said, please don't get me wrong, y'all. I was about it. Okay, I was about it. I didn't even have a car, and I was about it. Sometimes I didn't have a car, and I was listen. That's where that switching, getting other people's cars and doing that. That's where all that come into play. So trust me, I've been about it for a long time. But I ain't no more.
Because you turned in your cards.
I done turned, but I can teach some classes still now. Listen, I'm still
really.
I'm still
Y'all want to listen to her.
I'm still telling you, listen, if you don't see his car parked on the front, check in the alley, because he parked in the alley. Listen, so just ride, listen. So trust me, call me. I got you. But again,
she showed me how to take the door off and stuff like that. Remember that the house you showed me? Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, she is showing me how to unscrew the door and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely
So you talking about taking somebody's
way
house?
beyond. I'm like, I don't know where this is going.
Why you telling people I told you I take the door off?
Because I'll never forget that.
That was just last week.
So good.
That was just last week. That was last week.
I hope I don't run into no women like that trying to take off doors and stuff. Oh God.
Woo, Lord, I swear y'all see that's why he can't go nowhere with me. Cause he's too judgmental. I'm sitting up there popping the door, Jimmy in the door.
Yeah.
But in my defense,
Oh God. I've done a million things. I've never done that.
But in my defense, it was the door at my house. Okay, I was having an issue, so I had to take the door.
No.
I had to unhinge the door from the house. So
what's his name? You send me his information. I'll find him for you. If you want to go get him,
I took that whole. And you would think that he would help me. I was like, hold the door so it don't. He's sitting back, standing at me, looking at me like.
What did he take from you? What did he take?
It was the door at my house.
Yeah, because we was fixing something, and then she was like,
and he wouldn't help me.
I don't know. I think she know how she learned that skill because she did that at somebody else's house before. She took his stuff off.
I knew he was judging me when he saw me take that door off. But again, that was because I had some stuff to do and that was at my house. So that's why the door came off. But he's so judgmental. That's why I can't trust him because, he won't keep the secrets. He'll tell it if he knew it. So again, but if y'all want to know, just call me. Like I said, I'm teaching class.
Maurice Polk said, bottom line, we're grown around here. Either I'm going to trust you or I'm not. I'm not.
Right.
I hate the word ain't. Ain't got time for no igga-ish. I can't say that word
Absolutely.
here.
And I totally agree. And which is why I said that you ain't got to worry about me checking your phone. You can leave your phone right there. I'm like, I'm not checking your phone. I'm not going through your trust me, I'm not checking on your social media to see nothing what you doing, or I'm not checking any of that. Like I don't even care, but I don't even care like that because if you don't care enough about what we have, if you gonna risk losing me, then you don't care.
I don't do the social media check, but I know that if I post certain things or whatever, I know you're curious.
Right.
That's the funny thing about it. Like I'm not curious about stuff. Yeah, I'm not curious. So I always run up into these people that are just a little bit curious, and when it ends, especially if it ended on a sour note, then if I post a picture of my story, it's always that +1 down there, And I'm like, yeah, I figured you was gonna look at
with the one that have you blocked.
Yeah, the one. Yeah.
See, the thing that got me in trouble with the social media was not going to somebody's page. It was that green dot. Like if we were texting, and I text you for that, I text you, and then you don't call me back or text back, but your green light is lit. That's the stuff that was causing problems for me, but I had to let that go.
What if he ain't posting on Facebook?
Right, but you the one that actually had me to let it go. Because when I called you one day and I was like, "Why you didn't call me back? Why you answer the phone?" He's like, "I just got out of class." I said, "Your green light was on." Oh my God, I was in class, man. Are you serious? So then you kind of helped deliver me from that green dot.
That's what I did from that. I turned that off. I'm invisible, so you don't know if I'm on there or not.
You have to do that with her. You have to do that with her.
But he helped deliver me because I'm like, I would be all up. I used to be all up in the store.
I'd be like, leave it alone, girl.
Light. And then I'm like, but then when I was guilty of harassing my son for it, and he don't have no sympathy on me.
I shut it all down.
And then I kind of like left the whole green light situation. And sometimes I'll try to slide it in. It'd be like, okay, right, And then but now that's been a while ago. So I'm like, I don't even green light, stalk or anything like that. I'm just like, I'll just let it go. Like I'm easy. Like, listen, you hear, you not. Either way it go, I'm gonna rock with whatever you doing. Whatever you doing, I'm doing. You rocking, I'm rolling. You rolling, I'm rolling. Whatever it is. But don't think for 1 second that I'm checking up on you. I'm chasing after you. I'm not doing any of that. Not doing any of that. So guys, listen, we're gonna take a short musical break.
Short.
And when we return, we're getting into tonight's topic: when to file for child support. Ooh, that's gonna be good. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation
at a time.
Oh yeah, like I said, them good old investigating days.
This ain't a regular love thing. It's that waking up to sleep, me massaging your feet. Hey, it's that anything you want, I'm only here to please you. Baby, you're in my head. Your kiss sends me a shot of dopamine. Oh no, I never had an interest until I met you. And I don't know if it's real or is it just the things I go through. But I feel that it's true. Uh, we don't need no labels, baby. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, baby. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. To show, I don't feel it's a one night stand. It's that love you in your eyes. Make love in paradise. I one night stand. Yes, that sweep you off your feet. Give you everything you need. That's what I'm feeling. Yes, that don't pick up the phone, 'cause we wanna be alone. And I never thought I'd feel this way till you came along and proved me wrong. Oh no, I never had an interest until I met you. And I don't know if it's real, or is it just a phase I go through? But I feel that it's true. We don't need no labels, baby. What we got is something different. We don't need no labels, baby. Lady, we don't need no labels to show that what we have is something special. To show. Since you came in my life, I see. So
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright. She sleep today. Hey E, how's it going?
I'm drained. I just need a nice little glass of wine and maybe a taco, and I'll be okay.
Yes, I need a little something.
You need some wine?
No, I need a chicken wing and some hot sauce. No, I don't need no wine.
It's nothing but grape juice.
No.
It's grape juice.
We all right.
Okay, give a little wine and grape juice.
And next to sizzling, sexy, simply E, we have our co-host, NIU band member, aspiring actor and model, CEO of Delaware, Amir. Hey Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
You know, I remember I used to call him Dash and Dale. He used to be one of the Dash and Dale. What was that, grammar school or high school?
That was grammar school.
Yeah, Dash and Dale.
Just hating and stuff.
Time just done went by so fast.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna bring that name back. I got a lot of names for myself, so I'm probably gonna bring that back.
Oh, whatever. Guys, please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. So we have Will. He's saying, and this is before we took our break, but I wanted to get his comment. He's saying not big on social media in the green light is sometimes not accurate. This is true. Again, I had to learn that it's the hard way to not be looking at the green light. Oh, they on there and he's not responding to my messages. And like I say, this one right here, he sure helped me to get my mind totally right on that. So from there, I don't worry about the green light specials and all that other good ish. So again, just listen, do each other right. My thing is life is too short. If you don't want to be in a relationship, say it and move on. I mean,
but say that you're paranoid too. And let that person know, listen, I'm a little paranoid about this green light.
Right.
Because social media and even the sites will get you tripped out.
Yes, it will.
I was dating somebody and we were literally sitting right next to one another. And so I went on the dating site with him and I was like, look, your thing says you're on right now. And his phone, he was not on. So it will throw you off so bad. He was like, I'm right here next to you. I said, I know. He didn't even have the app downloaded no more.
Wow.
But it said that he was active and he was on right now. And I'm like,
oh yeah, see, that would have straight had me in an argument because I would have straight been like, I know your stuff is lit up and all this, and your profile said last log.
You can send a message and you not gonna even get no response from them. So right, hey, they could have probably deleted the app, but they just not on that. They got so many notifications.
Yeah, and see, and that's where people like me struggle at. So and I'll be the first to admit that, listen, my elevator don't go all the way up to the top. I'm stuck between the basement and the first floor. I tell people that. I tell guys that, listen, I'm not all the way there, okay? I teeter between yesterday and today. It's, I'm 11:59. It's not quite, the next day, but then you still ain't got a lot of time left, in the previous day. So I'm 11:59. That's how you would describe me. 11:59.
Like a pendulum.
Not quite the next day, but not entirely the prior day. The present day. So I'm right there. That's me. 11:59. That's me. 11:59. Doggone it. So that's me. But I'm okay. But again, it's like people play too many games. It's like if you're not there, listen, just throw the towel in and just move on. If you found somebody else, okay, be happy. Just leave folks alone. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Got to be more. She over here messing with me. But guys, listen. Tonight, we're talking about when to file for child support. So, what is child support? Child support is court-ordered payments typically made by a non-custodial parent to support one's minor child or children. Now, here's the deal. It's to support the children. When to file child support? You should file child support if the non-custodial parent is not actively and willing to take care of the child financially. Only financially. That's when you go and file child support. You don't go file child support because y'all broke up. Give the man a chance to, listen, y'all broke up on Sunday. You had child support on Monday. Wait a minute.
He didn't want me, so I'm filing.
He got a new girlfriend, or you see him posted up with some other chick on social media. Now you going down there to file for child support. That's not, no.
I have to file.
No, child support is not your own. I'm going to get back at you, because let's be honest now. Some women use child support as punishment, and some men view child support as punishment, and it should not be viewed as punishment. If you keep in mind, it's for the child. It's for the child. But again, it's about the way you do it. Now, here's the thing. For Illinois, as of 2017, Illinois and 39 other states, they now consider both parents' incomes to determine the amount of child support. So here's why I think that as of 2017, ain't too many women going down to jump on that child support. They can no longer use that as a medium over this man's head, because now your income is going to be considered as well. Now, prior to 2017, if you had one child in the state of Illinois, they was taking that 20%, that young 20% for one kid. 2 kids, it was 28%. Three kids, it was 32%. 4 kids, it was 40%. 5 children, it was 45%. 6 kids or more, 50%.
You must get 2 jobs, 2, 3, 4
50%
jobs,
of
and a low
a
key
man's
hustle.
income in the state of Illinois. That was prior to 2017. So, fellas, if you are still up under this law and you haven't been to court since 2017, you may want to petition the court for a modification of your child support order so that you can get it updated to what the new child support law is. Again,
it don't affect if you in back child support.
Yeah, it doesn't. It don't take. Now listen, it don't take away those arrears. Those arrears is still there.
I'm sorry.
And the last I checked, it was collecting 9.9% every 30 days. So, do your best to not get caught up in the backlog of the child support. But again, if you have not been to court since 2007, if you've been to court prior to 2017, you may want to, petition the court again for a modification so that you can get your child support order adjusted to what the new scale is as far as considering both parents' incomes. Because again, the mother, she was scot-free. She was like, please, I'm going to go get this young 20% of his income. Now today, they like, hold fast, boo. Listen, what you got coming in?
Man,
then they start, and I'm assuming that the child support, they're going to start factoring in your Section 8 and all this other stuff. So again, they're not going to be too quick to unjustly take you to child support. So now I think that this is kind of good. It's going to be set up for if you really need child support. Like you've been calling this dude and he just flat out not doing anything, then you go for child support. But what do you think about child support, Amir? As a man, what do you think?
I think child support. I mean, like it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing for guys, and just like what you said, like some women they get child support on guys when they not doing what they supposed to do, or they careless and stuff, and they not there for their kids, and well, if they want to see their kids, but they not letting them see their kids because you and that man y'all had a domestic combat or whatever y'all had going on, and now she want to get child support because you don't love her or want her no more. Now she want to make your life a living hell. She want to do that to you, and hey, I don't think it's right. But.
And that's so unfortunate. Eve, what are your thoughts on child support?
My BFF. No, here. I only, when I did do child support, it was because you didn't keep up your end of the bargain. That was the whole thing. We had our children, and we had made an agreement that we wouldn't go to the courts. We would deal with it one-on-one and not have the courts involved. And I was cool with that. And when I had asked for him to go pick up some shoes for him because my son had started walking, it's like, okay, I'm gonna bring him to you. I said, okay, cool. And my son is 20 and still ain't got no shoes. And the shoes weren't like it was expensive. It was some little K-Swiss that was like $25, I think. But he needed some hard bottom shoes. So I was like, if you couldn't do that, I'm not about to. And then I just had my daughter. I was like, nah, I already see how this is gonna go. So I went and I filed right then and there. I didn't wait, because I'm mad at you. Nah, we had been gotten over. I got over the madness of everything else. When the relationship crumbled, I got over all of that stuff. But when you're not keeping up your end of the bargain on what we had agreed on, now that's an issue for me. So I'm just like, just say what you're going to do and do what you're going to say. And I'm cool with it. So I do believe in child support on both ends. I know females who pay child support to their exes because their children decided they want to stay with the father. And I know men who pay child support. I know men who went to the court and gotten child support on themselves just because they didn't want to deal with the mom anymore. You know what? It's just easier this way. Let me just go ahead and go down here and I'll do it on myself. And that way you'll automatically get it. I'm good. And they've been able to just walk away.
And see, what I did was, so I got child support as well. So I filed child support. My son was 2. And so it's like for 2 years, I'm just like, I'm not about to keep running and chase. That's the thing.
Irritating.
It makes it hard for you to move on. It's like it's a game of cat and mouse. Like every time I'm just like, I tried to make this arrangement where it's like, okay, well, listen, just give me whatever you think is fair. Or just when you go to the store,
pick him up something. That's what kills me.
buy Pampers. I'm like, especially by this not being his first kid. So I'm just like, you know what it is that they need. And I'm just like, man, it's like it seemed like every time I would turn around, I'm having to call. And so now it would seem like I'm calling to talk to you when I'm just trying to call to get something. So I'm just like, you know what? To just stop all of that, went to child support, got child support.
Then and that's when they get mad. Why you get? Yes. Because I didn't screw myself and have a baby. Right. Period. Regardless on how we got this child came from both you and myself. So you know this. You know that a child is expensive because you like expensive things or whatever. And I ain't trying to say buy me the most high end stuff for my child. No. But when you go out to the store and you know that you buy you something to eat, man, let me call her and see, hey, I'm gonna stop by and just drop y'all off this, whatever, and this should cover you for the next week. Let me drop by some Pampers or whatever. Let me get these things because I know that you have, our child he stayed with you all day long. Let me get some supplies for you for the child. Period. That's all you got to do. It's not hard to do.
Right. And make no mistake about it, child support and visitation and seeing the kids are two different things. So my thing is, if I had the choice, if I had to choose between him being there versus the child support, then hands down, I would have definitely preferred for him to have been there. But I'm like, okay, since you're opting out, then I'm like, you're gonna do something. And I always let it be known, like, okay, your child support is taking care of your child. Like, I work, so and now some guys, and I don't know, fellas, let me know, do y'all think like this? But like, if you see her with her hair done and her nails done and she's looking nice, is she supposed to look raggedy because she getting child support? Child support is to take care of your kids. So does she supposed to do without? Because I know that was made to me. Oh, well, my child support shouldn't be going to pay for your hair and get your nails. First of all, I work and I make some good money. So what you need my child support for? Because I didn't make this baby by myself.
I think, when they deal with the type of female like that, you already knew how she was when y'all slept together. You knew that she was ratchet, that the money that you was giving for child support or whatever you gave to her, she was going to most definitely put it on herself regardless. So you knew this in the door of what you was dealing with. So you still shouldn't get mad because Bong Shikwa, whatever her name is today, decided to go get her hair done and neglect your child. She was neglectful when you met her. Her mama was
so crazy. And it's like, it was always so unfortunate. So it's like, the child support would cover like daycare, and then when he got older, he went to private school all his life. So I'm just like, even in high school, he went to private school. So I'm like, if you ever want to know where your money is, go up to the school, but before you leave, pay the balance. Because see, your child support don't cover all of it. So can you be a blessed beloved and pay that extra $150 that that your child support don't cover? So that was my personal situation. But then when he got older, I explained to him that I got child support, and then I started giving him his child support. Once he got old enough, I'm like, okay, here's your child support. That's your money. Do what you see fit with your money, because that's your income now. So you may want to use that instead of working while you in school. Use your child support to support. But I'm like, I don't need you, with child support. I'm not trying to beat the system or anything, but that's just how I was. But I always wanted to make clear to him that, what, even though he's not here or he wasn't around, he is paying child support, and he did pay it, faithfully for the most part. So I'm like this, before getting child support, listen, let me tell you this. Should a man pay child support for a kid that's not his? What do you think about that?
If he decided to marry that woman, because I've met a person like that too, and married the woman, he knew the child, she was pregnant, and he knew that the child was not his. He married her because he didn't want her to have, a child out of wedlock or whatever. And the child be a bastard, whatever. So he married her, and they're divorced now, and he pays child support for that child though, because that's the only dad that girl know, and that was on him. You married this woman knowing the search situation. And as a matter of fact, I think when he was here, he said in the state of Illinois and stuff, when you marry a person, you know that they're pregnant or whatever, then that now you take on that child as your own. Mm-hmm. And even though you divorce that person, legally that child is still yours.
Because especially if it was born within the marriage. Yeah. Now, I mean, what do you think about do you think a man should be obligated to pay child support for a child that's not his?
I mean, it depends. Like, if y'all want to be together and stuff like that, then you have to take responsibility of that role of child support, I believe. And then I feel like that if you try to opt out of it, then most definitely you gonna have to pay for it because you in that situation. She got a kid, you don't have a kid, so and y'all together, so. I believe that you have to. I mean, it's not fair, but I don't feel like, in my opinion, I don't feel like that he should because it's not your kid. But if you want to be with that woman, then 9 times out of 10 you gonna have to.
But I think what a lot of men who, when y'all break up and you leave out the household or whatever, what you all if you walk away and you're not active in that child's life and the mom start seeing somebody new, you now have created an era for a predator to come in because the man don't see you around, so now he playing daddy to your children. You pay your child support every now and again when you want to, but you don't still spend time with your children, whatever. So he's like, and if he is a predator, he's like, well, hell, I can do everything I want to do. So yeah, like one guy said, women should be more careful about who they sleep with or whatever. But even when you pick a guy that you think is an upright guy, he's doing this, he's doing that, blah, 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 blah. Everybody changes, period. He may be an upright guy, but he may not feel the pressure. He may not can handle the pressure of being a father and decide to walk away. So you have to look at, if I walk away from my children or if I walk away from this relationship, which is fine, I still need to be active and I still need to show support for my children because I'm going to open up the door. You are opening up Pandora's box for predators to come in and say, well, hell, this little girl or this little boy, their daddy ain't present, so I can beat the hell out of them. They mama ain't present, so I can beat the hell out of them. I can mistreat them. I can abuse them. I can molest them. I can do all these little things because they dang biological parents are not present. So you have to be mindful of all those things.
And then in response to this, Mark saying females are going to have to make better choices with giving up their goods. Just to piggyback on that, Mark, the fellas have to make better choices as well because again, that baby didn't get here by itself because if he didn't, populate, if he didn't enter the valley, then he wouldn't be on the hook for child support. So it's just like both people have to make better choices. It's like if you can't see yourself being there, then think twice about enjoying the fruits because again, at the end of the day, you're having sex. If she's still in childbearing ages, then listen, there's a possibility that she can get pregnant. It doesn't matter. No birth control is 100%. The only 100% way is not to do
it. And y'all better figure out what childbearing ages is because childbearing ages is not only the early 20s and 30s. I know women 40s,
I do
late
too.
40s.
I'm like, they better get on up out of here with that. I'm like, I got. And shout out to them that they have had
popping them out
way past they 30 plus. I'm like, girl, could be.
Like we're taught in the Nation of Islam that we will have children well into our 60s. And if you look on social media and in the news, you'll see women over in other countries are 60 something popping out children and stuff. And I'm like, the only thing I'm having at 60 is gas.
Let me tell you where's the I'm gonna be joining my boy Mike Simmons when he walking up them big old trails, walking up all them stairs. All you gonna see is my dummy and following down there.
That's 127 stairs.
Guess what? I'm not gonna be when I get up. Absolutely. Matter of fact, all that's gonna be. They like, listen, you done damaged all that. I'm like, all right, good. Got a little couple of extra stitches and stuff that I wasn't counting on. But listen, we took care of that situation. You know what? That's crazy. But fellas, if you ever have a question of paternity, please do not sign the birth certificate. I'm not saying that to be, bogus or anything like that. I'm saying it from a legal standpoint. Because in most states, if you sign the birth certificate, then that means that you are acknowledging paternity, which means that she can collect child support on you because you've claimed and acknowledged paternity. And let's say, God forbid, y'all end up on Maury and you find out you are not the father.
But look at his ears.
Guess what, beloved? You're still responsible for that child support because you signed the birth certificate.
It's
so
it's a paternity. It's not birth certificate. It's
the acknowledging
paternity. Exactly. When you fill that out, and they're gonna give it to you. They're gonna give it to her to take home. Now, when y'all at home and you fill it out, and she's gonna have you fill out your portion, and you sign that with your social, because it's gonna ask you for your social, the address, your phone number, all that stuff is on there. And if she sends it into the state or whatever, legally now, it's out of your hands, out of her hands. You are the father. It don't matter if Pookie turned out 20 years later that he your brother, them child, or cousin John down the street, or the doctors or whatever. You're financially obligated for that child, responsible for that child.
And the thing is, so it's like, it's up to the court's discretion in a lot of states. So check the laws of your state because it varies from state to state. It's up to the court to decide on if they want to let you off the hook. Even if you come into the court, oh yeah, I'm finna get off this child support. You finna come show them the paternity test and show 0% probability. That don't mean nothing. That does not automatically guarantee that they're going to remove you financially or legally from being that child's father. They will acknowledge that, biologically you're not the child's father, but legally and financially, you that baby pappy.
And then they're looking at, how it's going to affect the child.
Yes,
too.
They look at the best
if it's going to, if it's going to significantly affect that child where they won't be able to have anything, they're not going to let you off the hook.
What do you think about that? I mean, because I be watching these court shows.
Yeah, I know you do. You good for doing this. So I watched the stuff. I used to watch that stuff too, like Maury and Jerry Springers. I'm like, yeah, that was just, man, just looking back on those shows and stuff. I'm like, make me glad I ain't got no kids and I ain't in that situation. Cause I'm like,
yeah, that's true. And and I definitely
they would have ran me out of town with all of that. I'm like, made me flee the country having to deal with all of that junk. I'm like, I'm glad I ain't in that.
And that draws up a good point. So again, if you have questions about the paternity or you're not sure, again, fellas, I am, just definitely strongly advised. And listen, as a woman, look, no woman wants the paternity of her child to be questioned. But listen, if you know that you got the
you was out there thoughting. You was thoughting.
Come on, let's keep it real. Like, look, you know what? It goes with the territory, and you know what? Because I'm not sure.
Well, when you got that little friendly hoo-ha, just remember, y'all in a relationship. Y'all are reflections of one another. You got that friendly hoo-ha. He got that friendly dragon.
He got that Willy Wonka.
Hello, he got to make that chocolate
He got
factory.
that waving Willy. Hey. He got friendly hoo-ha. He got the waving Willy.
Like, how you doing?
Hey, waving Willy.
Come home tonight. Oh, you got your friend Chico house.
Jerky.
Okay.
Beef jerky.
Come on, Tina. Come on, get this. She ain't even. No, she come on. No. She had Bon Chico. Bon Chico name is really Bob, and she over there, tapping on Bob and stuff. But hey, it is what it is,
It truly is. So to keep it, it's easier to put your name on the birth certificate than to remove it. So if you have questions, hold on.
Swap. Okay.
Absolutely. Get that paternity
I watched
test.
Junior today.
Get it absolutely.
Sit it there.
Get it done before you go put your name on any paper. And again, ladies, look, now come on. Let's not be getting these fellas caught up. Now you know that this is a chance. He a good man. I know he gonna be a good daddy to my baby. Then why you didn't sleep with only him? Why you got some other questions?
Because I was just lost in myself.
I love him. I was just going through my whole thing.
Exactly. So, but he was like the first one. or the 51st one. But either way I go, he was still up in the first region area. So, I know it's his because I love him. And I love him tattooed on my stomach with his name on it.
Now, so it's like when you file in child support, though, for real. Again, ladies, if you know that this man is taking care of his kids, he getting the kids, he coming back every time that he getting them, he bringing them stuff, and then you go put him on child support because you see his little friend sitting out in the car when he dropped your kids off. No, that is not a reason to go file child support. You are dead wrong. If he getting, especially he getting them. I told you I don't want my kids around no other hoe. Well, listen, the mama's a hoe, so what? What's wrong with a different hoe? What's wrong with it? I'm just saying. If you want, what's wrong with him being with a different one? I know. Right. So it's like he done replaced one H for another one. So what you mad for? I done told you. Listen, you doing too much. You cannot tell this man how to raise his kids. As long as he's not putting them in harm's way, who he's dating and dealing with should not be your concern. Should not be your concern. And my son and I were just talking about this the other day, and I was telling him, be mindful of females and young ladies that he's talking to that's still beefing with their baby daddy. That means that they still messing around. It's something still going on.
Or Sharp feelings is still invested.
Right, somebody's still invested because I'm telling you.
Oh, I can see that. I mean, they ain't got to tell me. I can just look at you. I'm like, yeah, he's still messing.
Yeah, he's still tapping the bottom out of that.
And that could be
I ain't finished college yet, so I'm like, you living your life, and I'm living mine successfully. So I'm like, you stay over there, I'm definitely gonna stay over here where I'm at. We don't want no problem.
I know it's open like the Grand Canyon.
Trust me, it's more problems than it's worth, and it's just like you arguing back and forth. And listen, so when somebody moved on, and if she moves on, you can't get mad if she leaving you with the baby. You can't get mad because she moved on. I told her I don't want no other. Wait a minute.
I ain't got time to be arguing and stuff like that.
She about to check out over here.
Really, like, if that's the case, I'm like, hey, just drown me just drown me with some water so I can just stop listening to you. Therefore you can shut up and I can, that's how it works.
It's like you can't tell. Like, I told now you want to stop paying child support because you see another dude over there. Famo, it's not your my child support ain't gonna be taking care of no other end living in the house. Wait a minute, these are still your kids. Your child support needs to still come in this house. Now, flip side. Now, fellas, how do you feel about now you've married this woman? How do you feel about her still collecting child support from the kid's biological father, yet you're there taking care of her and her children? Should she still be collecting child support?
Yes, I did. Yes. He didn't care about that. He was like, yeah.
So
think about that.
Mark is on here talking a whole bunch of
stuff. So
his final statement, and he's saying females here get pregnant so they can get a place to live and put the father out. So why do you fall for it?
Why are you sticking your stuff up in there?
Exactly.
Why do you put a condom on?
Like that's her. Why are you even dating that caliber of woman? So that just tells the caliber of man you are. If this is what her soul intent is, why are you even as a man going there? Why are you as a man even entertaining that? Now you have intentionally created a child that you know is going to live in poverty. So think about that before you go putting it all on the woman. Yes, she's going to be left with the responsibility because she dealt with a shiftless dude that left her with the responsibility, if you really want to place the blame. So my thing is it's 50-50 because it took two people to create a child. Yes, oftentimes the woman is left with the child. However, don't run across a woman that will have that baby, pack that baby up, and leave that baby on your doorstep. Now you stuck with the responsibility because listen, it's on my mouth there because I know a couple of them that will listen. That pack, yeah, you wanted this baby. There you go, deuces. I'm up. You take care of your baby. Now you find me in child support, and they did it. I couldn't do it, but it's been done. So when you having kids, that's 50-50. But it should never be where you're filing child support because you mad.
No.
You upset the relationship ended and things like
it
that.
should be, like she said, not you mad that the relationship is over. You filing child support because you're upset that he ain't paying or she ain't trying to, be there. Even if you flip the switch and she had the baby because you wanted the baby and she was like, okay, here you go. And then she's still not trying to come by, drop off some milk, drop off something. And you file child support, it's because you're not even fulfilling your obligation as a parent to take care of this child. You literally are a sperm donor or egg donor. Those people can skeet and go away and pull out an egg and keep it moving. You can't do that when these are your children, and you shouldn't do that because that messes up that child so bad.
Right.
So you got to take yourself out of the equation when you're creating these children because it's not about you anymore. It's about the child.
Absolutely. And so it's just like
Facts.
D is saying women who put their baby daddies on child support out of anger or jealousy should be aware that their plan could backfire on them. They could end up getting considerably less than they thought. Absolutely, especially in Illinois with, again, the new laws effective 2017 that now both parents' incomes are being considered. So, with that being said, like D said, you could be getting substantially less. But again, is it really about, like, if it's really about that, you sitting up there calculating like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this for all he got and this and that. Come on. Like, you're not doing what's best for your kids. So child support should be filed with the best interest of the child, not because you got a vendetta against him or you got a vendetta against her. It's supposed to be for the child. So when we having kids and things like that, if you know that the relationship is volatile, listen, tighten up extra on that birth control because you don't want no oops.
Soak your stuff in some hot water first. Put the make sure you purchase the condom. Put 2 on. I know it's a little tight, but just use your imagination.
Because you mess around and have a oops baby. Now you mad. She know I ain't want no kids. You shouldn't have knocked on that door. She should have been on birth control. Well, if she was and it didn't work,
cracked up a few pills in her little coffee or something. Like, drink this, baby. I made it especially for you.
Push it down the stairs. I don't know. You should not have shown up there if you were that adamant about being, getting pregnant. Yes, women do all kinds of crazy stuff. Listen, fellas, don't fall for it. That's all I'm saying is don't fall for it.
Don't dive in it.
Don't you do it. Especially, she got mental issues and now you got a little crazy baby. Now she terrorizing your mama and your grandmama. She terrorizing the dog. She terrorizing everybody at the job.
You know what they say about them crazy people though? They got some just
because see, I'm not gonna deal with it. I already told him I don't have the capability to deal with all that.
Yeah, you
hey,
do.
Craig.
No, I don't. So again, when you're filing for child support, file for child support when you need the child support, if you legitimately need the support to take care of your child. And fellas, willingly step up to do your best to, keep a cordial relationship
with
the mother and do your best to try to not only pay the child support with co-parents. So if she got a child support order on you, still you got to see your kids.
And if you're smart, you should just go in there and file for joint custody.
Exactly.
That's the easiest
so many
thing.
Things. So it's like
joint custody.
Don't be a victim to the system. It's just like it's so many. I'm gonna tell you now, the system is not set up for the fellas at all. I'm gonna be honest and tell you that right now. It is not. The system is so biased to fellas. I didn't make the rules. But I'm trying to teach you how to navigate because I know a lot of good dudes that have gotten burned by the child support system because she big man. That big man gonna cost you. But still, if you can be in your kid's life, even though she done filed child support and you mad,
that's the best thing.
Listen, if she's not allowing you to see your kids, trump her. See her in court.
Yep.
Take her into court because it's illegal to keep her.
Keep you from the children. And if she tries to jump the state, that's perfect too, because trust, she will be arrested.
Absolutely.
Take her to court. They will tell her you either going to come back willingly or we're going to come back there, extradite you back, and you're going to go to jail. And the child is most definitely going to go all the way back with you.
Absolutely.
So it's so many ways around that.
You do have rights. So do not take it laying down. Okay. Or you missed a couple of child support payments. Or you can't see your son. Oh, okay. Really? all right, look at what I'm about to do. So there are legal ways. Stop trying to, handle this on social media or trying to handle it yourself. Once child support is involved, this is now a family matter, and you should handle it as such if you really want to be in your child life. But most guys, I'm not going to be dealing with a man like that. I'm not going to be dealing with. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you what. I bet you deal with the man and she threw a brick through your window. Won't you call the police? Because she broke the law. So why not call the courts when she breaking the law from keeping you from being with your kids? That's just something to think about. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, E. Thank you, Amir. Please do me a favor. Go to our page, like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Good night, you guys. Peace out. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you for hitting the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.